Okay, we've been joined just before starting this video by a certain little special someone, so I'm going to show you her. Hello! Say hello to YouTube. Hello! I better let her go because she's probably going to kill me in a minute. She does not look impressed. Look at her little face. Unimpressed little kitty. Right here. I love you though. I love you. Yes, and I was talking the baby voice to her as well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello, creepy friends. Welcome to Nixie Bobs, and you guys are not centered. Now you are. Hello, lovely people. And today is another Thunderbirds day. It's becoming Thunderbirds Monday when I can do it. I think I'm now actually back in the swing of doing this. To be honest, I feel bad that I kind of made you guys wait till like the middle of the week to watch some of these reviews that I do. To be honest, a lot of subscribers on here, I owe it to you guys for watching me and like pushing me to do these. So I can't let you wait because I feel bad. If there's something going on and I have to make you wait, it's just not my fault. I owe it to you guys to do this, and I'm going to carry on doing it because I want to. I'm not just doing it because like people have asked me to, because then it will be a chore, and I don't want it to be a chore. I want it to be an enjoyment, and I am enjoying it. Again, it was kind of a bit of a rocky start, but we're there. So this week's episode was called Lost Kingdom, and it was basically based around the idea of finding the lost city of Atlantis, which we've seen a lot of things do before. I thought Thunderbirds did it very well though. Am I kind of biased? Maybe a little bit. So to sum up the episode, seismic activity in the Aegean Sea has revealed Atlantis. It's confirmed. So of course, who goes down there to completely wreck the joint? Francois Lemaire. Do we remember Francois Lemaire? I do. I know he was in series 1. Can't quite remember what he did, but I know he was in it. Despite warnings from Lady Penelope and John, he gets himself stuck, causes a sea quake, and ends up breaking Trident's staff. It falls down, and him and Madeline are completely stuck in it. And they also have a punctured air tank, so well done, you idiot. You just made the list! So off go Virgil, Gordon and Brains to rescue him. Brains wants to see the Solar Cathera. Gordon obviously needs to be there as the Aquanaut, and Virgil of course is playing Gabby. Feel like we need to see Virgil actually do something this series. I know, and I've said a lot that Thunderbirds 1 and 2 are the primary cross, but to be honest, I don't remember the last time we saw oh, Thunderbird 1 was in action last week, but I really want to see Thunderbird 1 and 2 actually do a mission together. It feels like it's been a long time since that's happened. I think I'm kind of getting a little bit of withdrawal symptom from it. It's nice that they're giving the Aquanaut and the Astronaut more airtime. I think that was very much craved within a lot of fans, but I am kind of missing me some Virgil action. And maybe give John another episode, because you know I love me a John episode. So of course, once Gordon has finally rescued Lemaire and Madeline, he, being the idiot that he is, and there's a slight continuity error here. Did they forget that he'd apparently punctured the air tank? I just thought of that. He jets off back into Atlantis to go and try and find evidence of mer people. He's being a loser, basically. I can't describe it any other way. Thunderbird 4 goes in a hot pursuit of him, desperate to save him because there is so much seismic activity and aftershocks going on after the sea quake. He finds him and they kind of end up at this. There's 2 birds on a roof that look like they're getting on over there. That's a little bit weird. Little bit weird. Sorry. And they end up kind of having a little bit, they find like a big cavern and tombs and whatnot. It's all really, really well done. Luckily, of course, Penelope is in the area because they're kind of now barricaded in a little bit. Her and Parker puncture a hole through and then get a little bit stuck themselves. Gordon here, of course, is trying to play the cool and calm and collected rescuer, but you can tell he's getting really aggravated with Lemaire. I think we all are. Of course, just as they're about to leave Atlantis, Lamar is a singer. Lemaire has one last breakaway attempt and runs off and finds the Solar Cathera. Brains goes in hot pursuit of him, and they're kind of looking at it going, oh wow, this is awesome. It's basically, the Solar Cathera is defined as being like the first computer, I guess, back in that kind of time. Of course, you couldn't really take an electronic device underwater because you'd all get electrocuted. And of course, Lemaire being Lemaire and being an absolute prize pillock sets the thing off. So it ends up that they're kind of a little bit stuck due to a few more aftershocks. You've got Penelope, Parker, Madeline, Gordon's there, Brains is there, Lemaire's there, Max is there. Is it really safe for Max to be near water? I kept thinking all episode. So Brains says, take everyone else and me and Lemaire will go and deal with this. So it's kind of like running through passwords. Eos and John are really helping here get the passwords from everything. It's quite technically clever, I guess. and they go and kind of put in all these different codes with these symbols. Now I was trying to follow the codes and see if they had any kind of relevance, because I know that a lot of things like that, like the TV20 run, like the TX404, there's always reference to something in there. So if these codes had any bearing on any meaning, let me know. I was trying to follow the letters that they were saying, like beta, alpha, and I kind of wasn't keeping up. But if you do know anything, drop me a line. You know I'll always listen. So with the right codes, basically it opens the roof to Atlantis, which enables everybody to go out just as the whole thing seems to go kaboom. And we have an end of the episode, a successful rescue mission. Can we see Lemaire coming back again? Yeah, probably, because he's just a loser. He's a bit like Ned Tedford, really. They're like that thing that won't leave. This episode has been really, really well received from what I've read and seen about it. It's lovely to see everybody involved in an episode, even with just a bit part. Literally all of our main crew were in this. Alan had a line, Gordon was in it, Virgil was in it, Scott was in it, Grandma Tracy was in it, Max was in it, Brains was in it, KO was in it. Everybody, Fab One, Parker, Penelope, all of our necessaries, all of our group and our core lot were in this episode, and I think that's something I always like to see personally. I love to see everybody involved in an episode, even if they've only just got a little bit line in it. It's lovely to see everybody just, I guess, hanging around and being a family. I guess that's kind of cheesy, but that's how it makes me feel. And the only other thing is that when you had Gordon searching for different things and sending out warnings, it only really just occurred to me just how much they've really technically thought of Thunderbird 5 in this series as a whole, not just in this episode or this series, but in the actual whole Thunderbirds I'll Go series. They've really made it more technical. They've really thought about how things would work, how you'd essentially be programming and viewing everything from a satellite, and it really shows the enormity of John's job and John's presence and how vital he is. If anything, he's probably the most vital character in the whole series, in all fairness, beyond wanting to see Jeff. Someone really sat back and considered this hugely, and it only just occurred to me in this episode, just watching things. I sat there and went, wow, yeah. And I think it's amazing, and I think whoever's really kind of sat there and characterised and thought of Thunderbird 5 as a ship and what it can do, really well done. Really well done. I should have said that first series, but I've only really just sort of paid attention, so well done for that. Scott face palms Francois Lemaire. Did we all not feel that way as well? Did we all not sit there and go, I think we all did. I think we all did. I personally just sort of went, oh, not you again. It was a bit like Ned Tedford last episode, really, wasn't it? He is such an arse, though. Francois Lemaire is just, you just want to kick him one, really, and just like, what was that show where someone used to put a big old boot on? It was like a cartoon from the 90s and kick someone into the next stratosphere. I know obviously Team Rocket used to get blasted off and Little Star in Pokemon, but like seriously, that's what I feel like doing to Francois Lemaire and Ned Tedford. At times Virgil and Gordon are fantastically sarcastic with Lemaire as well. Just one for the adults that they're putting in there. All the kids are sort of going, oh no, and then there's these lines for the adults missing and going, yeah. Because kids don't actually understand sarcasm for many, many years, so it's actually quite ingenious to put sarcasm in anything. Kind of the same way they did it in Shrek, really. I don't know, maybe you guys need to sort of have a little debate about this down below. Did you think that it was a bit too soon to see Thunderbird 4? Do you think that maybe we should have had another episode before another Aquanaut mission so soon after that destruction? Do you think that maybe they should have put a little bit more emphasis on, oh, TB4's not quite fixed yet? Thunderbird 2 was out of action after one of the first episodes where it did the big crash landing. That was out of action for a good couple of episodes. It just seems like I think they've put Thunderbird 4 in too early, just as a small criticism there. Is KO teaching fighting skills going to come in handy in any way in the next coming episodes, or is that just like a little past the time moment till we start the actual episode? Is that what I can just see Gordon using it in a latter episode? And also, despite Gordon and Penelope being in the same place, and despite all those hints last series, there was no romance. There was no little hints. Have they forgotten about that bit? I do love an aquatic physical set in these episodes. They just always seem to make them look marvellous. Every set that they do always echoes the original, and it's completely paying homage to the original, not just using total CGI. But I don't know, whenever there's anything that involves water and then mixing the CGI characters in with it, I just feel like they knock it out of the park. It always looks amazing. The attention to detail is there, especially when you're creating something like Atlantis. They've really done themselves proud with this one. Just the set work is just like, ah. And I personally think they've actually one-up themselves from last series on the set kind of stuff like that. Would Brains really be able to climb and jump up the stuff like that? It was a bit sort of aerial for a scientist. Not that he's not physically fit or anything, but just not something I'd see Brains do. Tell me what you think. It was all very much Tomb Raider at that end bit, wouldn't you agree? Do you remember Angelina Jolie in the first Tomb Raider movie where they go and find the big bit at the end, that big set, and they're running around and she's jumping around on all these solar clocks as they're going around? It reminded me of that a lot. A hell of a lot, actually. Maybe that's similar. Maybe actually what that was in Tomb Raider was actually a bit of Atlantis. I did enjoy this episode. As I say, there's always something magical when everybody's involved, no matter how small or minute their part. So it seems like Thunderbirds is definitely going to be on Christmas Eve. So that Christmas Eve one, I will absolutely not be able to record quickly on Christmas Eve. So I'm gonna give you a little gift instead. I was actually planning on doing something completely different for my Christmas Day video, but what I'm gonna do is actually do 2 days for you. I'm gonna do Christmas Eve and I'm gonna do Christmas Day. Christmas Eve is gonna be the Christmas episode of Thunderbirds, I've decided. So there's a little gift for you guys that's coming. I know I still haven't done Attack of the Alligators and I still haven't finished the vintage episodes. Obviously I was gonna do that one before this came back on, but I was ill at the time. I had no voice. I think I've explained this, guys, to you already. So keep a watch out for that. That is going to be coming on Christmas Eve, so long as I have plenty of time to record it, because there's a lot to do in the next 2 weeks. Can you believe that this Sunday is the 11th? And we've only got literally 2 weeks to Christmas Day. That's madness. It's just come out of nowhere. Like, I've got so much going on, particularly next week, that my mind's just kind of going all crazy. Scary stuff. Have you done your Christmas shopping? Because I'm almost done anyway. Thank you everyone for being here and watching another episode of Thunderbirds. I'll go with me. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, please do. If you'd like to leave a comment about anything I missed, maybe you saw that I didn't, do leave your comment. Do leave your feelings about this episode. And I will see everyone again for more Thunderbirds, beauty boxes, God knows what else that's coming up this month. Bye everyone.